the approach at the temple that I'm putting in a stamp on is to practice Pure Land and Chan jointly. Okay, so you basically approach Mahayana. Our approach is to go through two special doors, specialized doors: the Pure Land Dharma door or the Chan Dhamma door. Okay, and the Chan Dhamma door is to help you develop your prajna wisdom this lifetime. Sáng nay thầy giảng nói pháp, thầy nói về cái năm mới. Năm nay chùa chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu đổi số, đi lại hơn một tí, đi gắt cao hơn một tí, để tu cái pháp xuất thế qua hai cái pháp môn chính là thiền và tịnh độ. Thiền là để mở cái trí huệ xuất thế của vị, cái trí huệ bát nhã. The prajna wisdom, we are on slide 467. The prajna wisdom to help you understand emptiness, true emptiness. Cái bát nhã, trí huệ bát nhã là trí huệ cho cái vị thấy được cái chân không. Okay, now we have to be careful. Buddhism has the very precise terminology. First of all, you practice Buddhism that bring you to the understanding of emptiness. Thì mình cẩn thận một tí, giảng nghe vài cái chữ cho nó rõ ràng. Nhất là cái chữ không. Okay. Chữ không á, là khi quý vị tu Phật pháp để giúp quý vị chứng đắc được cái giáo lý của cái không. Emptiness here refers to the emptiness of the Hinayana accomplishes or takes as purpose. Cái không này là cái không của cái bên nguyên thủy mà họ gọi là cái mục tiêu của họ. Their objective is to realize and certify to this concept of emptiness, the emptiness of the self. Cái bên nguyên thủy khi mà họ giảng cái không, họ học tu dạy về cái không này giúp quý vị thấy được cái không của cái bản ngã. What does it mean? Emptiness of the self. Anyone? Thì cái không của cái bản ngã là cái gì? Please enlighten me. I mean, explain to me. Let's not use the word enlightenment arbitrarily, okay? Because that's what worldly people do. A lot of people say they're enlightened when they're not even beyond the form realm, and they claim they're enlightened. The form realm, you need to know, is very, very far from even emptiness itself, let alone being enlightened. Okay, so what is this emptiness here of the self? Thank you. Yes? Anyone? Yes, Vicky?
No attachment.
No attachment. Why is there no attachment? Không tức là vô chấp trước. Tại sao và không là vô chấp trước? Why is that? Yes.
Well, there's no one left to be attached.
There's no one who is attaching. Right? There's no one who attaches to fame. Không có ai mà chấp trước hết, không ai chấp trước vào cái danh vọng. No one who attaches to sleep. Không ai chấp trước vào cái ngủ. No one who attaches to what else? Food. Không ai chấp trước về đồ ăn. No one who attaches to sex, you mean? No, sex. Không ai chấp trước vào cái tình dục. Okay. Sex. Let's be blunt. Yeah. All desires go back to sex. You buy a car because you want to get the blonde bombshell. Sit. Why? I was talking about that. You know, people say, how come I see, someone said, I see women driving those hot Corvettes. Okay? Có người nói với thầy, tại sao người ta lái xe có mấy cái cô rất là xinh đẹp lái chiếc xe Corvette. Ở xứ Mỹ Corvette là ngon lành. But I never saw a blonde bombshell driving a Ferrari, red Ferrari. Như đều không ai thấy cái cô mà xinh đẹp mà lái chiếc xe Ferrari đỏ. Why is that?
Because they're foreign. Foreign.
Because they're foreign. Tại vì xe ngoại quốc. Spoken from a true red-blooded Texan. Cái này người da trắng nói. Yes? Why not? Please explain that to me. See, now everyone's awake. When we talk about red Ferraris, everyone wants to listen. Everyone wants to know.
Italy.
Huh?
You see it in Italy.
Oh.
What?
You see it in Italy.
You see it in Italy. No, women in Italy don't even drive red Ferraris.
No.
They don't. I never saw it in Italy. Yeah. Why is that?
The street is small in Italy.
The streets are small in Italy. Đường nhỏ quá, lái nguy hiểm. So it's more dangerous. But she's saying women can't handle the narrow roads, narrow streets. Okay. That's coming from a Korean friend. Okay. Yes? Why not? Yes.
Well, with a Ferrari, usually stick shift.
It's a stick shift. có người nói xe Ferrari là phải chịu số bằng tay. Yes.
Is it really? Or
Yes,
Yeah,
it's stick
it would
shift.
be.
okay,
Yeah, it's only stick shift. Yeah. Yes.
Well, because a Ferrari is a man's car.
It's a man's car.
Man's, a masculine.
It's a masculine car. It's those curves for like.
Yeah, it doesn't look cute.
Doesn't look cute. Have you seen, just as a side point, have you seen that Acura thing, Acura, whatever the car?
Acura.
Yeah, that has, I know this model that has a lot of V's in the back, because that's the only place where I see them. It's rear end. Okay? The car has a lot of V in the back, whereas the Italian cars have a lot of curves. The V is a very strong shape, and it has all V's. The trunk is a V, and the roof is a V. Everything is V in the back. It's overwhelming. It's too masculine. That is more masculine than a Ferrari. And I see women driving that Acura, V-shaped. You know what I mean? Pay attention next time you see an Acura on the street. You look at from behind. It's a lot of V lines everywhere. It's overwhelming. I look at that and say, I would have fired this designer. And yet it's real popular in this country. Probably along the women. Lots of masculine shapes. Anyway, what else? Why not?
Oh, I know.
Yes.
If you're a woman and you drive Ferrari, you don't get the chance to get the cool guy.
You don't get a chance to get the male gigolos, you mean?
Guys get too intimidated.
Well, the men who drive the car, they get the blonde bombshell. And the women who drive the car, they get the male gigolos.
Oh. But women
It's
don't
fair.
like them.
It's fair game.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fair game. That's good for the gooses. No, okay, these poor Texans can't handle this kind of straight talk.
Straight up.
It's because two reasons. Number one, it's too expensive. It's like the house of a car. The car is about the price of a house in California. No? Los Angeles, houses around here, they're $500,000. cheap houses. That is. So, and the other reason is that why not? I don't know how we got into that.
I don't either.
Okay, can we drop it?
Yeah.
No. Never mind. So, never mind. I want to say there's something. Maybe I should skip that conclusion, that punchline. It's not very safe, not on a Sunday afternoon. Okay, going back to enough chit chat. We go back to the serious business of the Vajra Sutra. Emptiness. Okay. The emptiness of the self is that there is no one who attaches to sex, to sleep, to wealth, okay, to fame, okay, all the desires. Okay. That's why it's empty. It's called empty because there's no one inside. Okay. What does it mean? It's no one who's getting angry. Correct? Is that true too? Or is that the exception? Yes or no? Is there...
Yeah.
When you empty, you don't get angry. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right? Okay. And when you... okay. Then let me ask this. This is what I pondered for a long time. Didn't quite understand. Các thầy thắc mắc cái chuyện này. Maybe you can help me out. I've been pondering about this. If you empty, if the self is empty, does it mean that your neighbor is empty?
Yes.
Cái này phải hỏi. Thầy thắc mắc cái chuyện này lâu lắm mà thầy không ai trả lời. Because this is not written anywhere in the books. If you are empty, does that mean that your neighbor is empty?
No, not at all.
No.
Thầy thắc mắc cái chuyện này lâu lắm. Nếu như quý vị mà là không, cái bạn ngại cái gì là không, thì bà xã cái gì có là không không? Is your wife empty?
No.
No.
Yes or no?
If one person is empty, every person is empty.
There's a claim from Texas that one person is empty, everyone is empty. It's worth repeating the statement. Very Texan. Okay? Mọi người nói là khi mà bạn ngã là không thì tất cả mọi người đều là không. Agree or disagree? Agree, disagree? It depends. The Vietnamese claim it depends. He's no lawyer, but
Good answer.
It doesn't matter if you're.
it doesn't matter. Korea says doesn't. Miss Korea says doesn't matter. Okay, what do you think? Which is the true answer? Yes, your wife is empty. The Vietnamese Texan says your wife is empty. The Vietnamese says it depends. And the Korean says it doesn't matter. Yes.
Thưa thầy, con nói tùy trường hợp là tại vì có một cái câu hỏi của thầy con confuse là phải hỏi về cái idea coi như là người chồng là luôn luôn empty, hay là nếu người chồng empty thì thầy luôn cả người vợ empty, hay là người vợ by herself empty. Con confuse thằng này.
He says the question he needs to clarify. He says, my question needs clarification. He says, suppose the husband is empty. Does the question mean that if the husband is empty, he sees his wife is empty? Or is it the case that the wife is empty independently of the husband? What do you think? That's a good question. I never thought of it that way. But that complicates matters a little bit. Okay, let me think about that. Yes? Nghe hiểu không? Cái câu hỏi này là nếu người chồng đã là không rồi đó, thì câu hỏi của thầy là có nghĩa là người chồng về phương diện người chồng, người vợ cũng là không, hoặc là người vợ sẽ là không cần biết cái phương diện người chồng là có không. What do you think?
Most people do not perceive themselves as empty, but that doesn't mean that they're not empty. The dog doesn't perceive itself as empty, but it's empty. Everything is empty.
Everything is empty. Ooh, how depressing. So money is empty. I have a 1952 1-cent coin. I found out it's worth at least $88. Now he just told me it's empty.
Doesn't mean it's not worth $88. It's still empty. And the $88 is empty too when you get that.
Oh, it'd be stressing. And I thought I was making all these plans since last night on how to spend my 88 newly found dollars. Yes, sir. So, what do you think? Yes?
I agree with him.
I agree with who? The Texan or the Vietnamese? The Texan.
If your cell is empty, then you see everything around you is empty. You don't discriminate anymore. So it's empty too.
Empty too.
And
So,
it's empty. You don't discriminate, so when you look at your wife, it's empty.
she's empty too. Oh, how shocking. And I thought I was in love. So, can you love?
Love is empty.
Love is empty. My goodness, this is distressing. Shana says, I step away from the temple for a few weeks, maybe a few months. I come back and everything is empty. What happened? Huh?
That's what you talk about.
Now it's my fault. Have you thought about that? See, it's not written anywhere in the books. Because it bothered me. I said, the book says, the Sutra says, people explain it, you empty yourself. Okay. But it doesn't say what happens to text when I am empty. Here's the answer to Travis' question. He said, it depends on the perspective of the husband or it doesn't matter? I say, this is the question, what it means. He says, I'm empty. After I'm empty, I looked at my wife, my boyfriend, okay? Are they empty too? Or are they not empty? And according to my devoted stenographer here, transcriber, she says, I claim that the master taught us that everyone is empty. So it's the master's fault. Yes?
If you're empty, I think you should see it as it is. Why? I think that's the point, right? Like if you're empty, you don't have to see things not as it is, like it should, now, that's orange, that's red, because I don't distort any illusion because I'm empty, right?
Okay. Let me clarify your point. Let me paraphrase this point, you see. You have to understand the concept of emptiness in Buddhism is very important. It says, I am empty. You are insulting emptiness. Do you get that? If somebody insults you, if you're really empty, they're simply insulting emptiness. Right?
It doesn't sound
Yes?
You mean, Master, if someone insults you and you're empty, then it doesn't hurt you.
It doesn't hurt you. Precisely. This is very important. If someone insults you or someone is impolite to you and someone is unfair to you, okay? You will not get upset because inside you're empty. It's not the other perspective. The other person insults you because he does not see you as empty. Right? But you yourself see yourself as empty. Therefore, you will not get upset. Is it clear? You see, Miss Korea is still confused when she insults me. But when I have wisdom, I will not be offended by that. Only...
She didn't insult you.
I'm just saying an excuse. Okay? He broke my chain of thought. Protecting Miss Korea. Jeez. Okay. Never mind. Moving on to the next topic. Serves you right for interrupting the master. Where was I?
Miss Korea insults you, you don't get insulted.
Oh, Miss Korea insults you and you don't get insulted. Okay, very good. That's
Because you're
important to
empty.
remember. Huh?
Because you're empty.
Because you're empty. Because what happens is Miss Korea is confused. That's why she insults me. It's not my problem. Okay? Okay. If I get upset, that means I take her problem and make it mine. I take her ignorance and make it mine. Right? So that's why the person of wisdom will not be offended. So far, so good. We agree? Tana, do we need to translate in Vietnamese or not? Do you need it?
I'm thinking because I segmenting the file.
Mm-hmm.
So
You cut it up. You cut it up. Oh, I see. So,
it's not
yeah.
English.
Do you keep the English file and Vietnamese file separate?
No, I don't do the English file.
Oh my God!
Because
If you cut it up.
nobody knows it. Nobody.
Yes, we do. From now on, please keep the English file. We have now Dragon Natural Speaking that takes that file and transcribe it into English.
It's too much time. I do the Vietnamese only. The original still
This
there.
is a typical Vietnamese, very selfish people. They said, I only do Vietnamese, I don't care about English.
No, I did that for a while, but then it's too much time, and I don't see
No,
anyone
it
use
really
it.
saves us a lot of time. It really saves
And I
us.
don't see anyone use it. So
Oh, we're going to use it. We're going to use it. Please keep, if you could, please ask David to help you. Split half. Okay? It's very helpful because now the transcribing software is very, very good. It's 90% accurate. It's very, very good.
So I don't need to translate it in Vietnamese.
No, Vietnamese is only for English.
Then you have the
When you give me the English file, we can transcribe it into English very quickly.
Then I don't need to do this. Then I do the segment in the English file.
No, you still do the Vietnamese because she's trying to weasel out of her Vietnamese transcription work. You have to do Vietnamese, okay? Never mind. Okay, now.
Okay.
Where were we now? They keep on interrupting my important Dharma lecture. Now I get distracted all the time.
Translate it to Vietnamese.
Okay, never mind. Translate in Vietnamese. Translate what?
You just say.
Nói về tiếng Giảng và tiếng Việt, cái câu hỏi là nếu như mà mình không thì cái chuyện gì xảy ra? Cái người mà mắng mình không gọi mình là không, thành ra người ta mới mắng mình. Thì ngược lại, nếu mình nghĩ mình là không rồi, mình đáp ứng không của bản ngã rồi, thì mình không còn nổi giận nữa. Mình không còn trách người ta nữa, tại vì không có ai trách người ta nữa. Ok, nói cách khác là mình không lấy cái vô minh của cái người mắng mình đó, nó làm cái vô minh của mình, không lấy cái vấn đề của người ta, cái phiền não của ta mà trở thành cái phiền, tạo thành cái phiền não của mình. Đó là cái không, đó là cái lợi của không. So the advantage of emptiness is that you will not get afflicted, no matter how you are treated, right? Nói cách khác là cái người mà không rồi đó sẽ không còn bị cái phiền não, mặc dầu bất cứ chuyện gì người ta đối xử mình ra sao cũng không bị phiền não. So far so good. Okay, it's clear, right? That's the advantage of emptying yourself. You are no longer afflicted. Cái lợi điểm của cái người mà đắc được cái bản ngã là không rồi, là không còn bị phiền não nữa. Okay, the question I pondered for a long time. I wasn't sure what the answer is after you empty yourself, okay, what about the others? Are they empty to you or not? Is your wife empty? Thầy thắc mắc cái chuyện này. Một khi quý vị đã không rồi, bản ngã vì không rồi, thì bà xã quý vị là sao? Phải không là không? Yes?
Aren't self and others like a pair? If you empty self when others be empty automatically too?
Bản ngã với là tha, từ với tha là nó đi song song với nhau. Một khi mà bản ngã là không thì tha ngã cũng là không. Okay. Do you agree with that, David? No, he disagrees. He said it depends.
I mean, of course, we're talking from your perspective, not from the other's perspective. But from your perspective, self and others, wouldn't they both be gone?
How can you have a perspective if you're empty?
How can you have a perspective when you're empty? Does it mean that when you're empty, you cease to have perspective? Mean you cease to live? You have to be careful. Empty doesn't mean you're dead. Empty means you simply have no afflictions. You're still aware. You still have appetite. You still can smile. You still can cry. But you're not attached. Can you cry when you're empty? Yes or no? Can you? Huh? See? David now is getting confused. Bây giờ thầy như đây thầy hỏi, đừng có hỏi, đừng hiểu lầm cái không mới là cái chết. Cái không có nghĩa là quý vị không bị phiền não, không có nghĩa là quý vị đã chết. Khi quý vị không rồi đắc chứng đắc cái không có nghĩa là quý vị vẫn còn cái cảm giác, vẫn cười vẫn khóc. Đúng là sai. Tràng nói là sai. Tràng nói là depends. Yes?
Thầy con bây giờ con nghĩ là doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Now he's joining Miss Korea's stand.
Welcome to the club.
What do you think? What do the rest of you think? Bây giờ ông Tràng đồ lập trường là theo cái cô hoa hậu đại học. Yes. What do you think? Yes?
What is the question, Master?
I'm confused too myself. Do you have to ask? Can we just talk and not say anything? Because it's empty anyway? Mr. Texas is right. Once you're empty, everything is empty.
Huh? If you're empty.
Yes.
Do you mean once a person is empty, then their perception of everything is empty?
That's right. He perceives everything as empty. To a point.
Yeah.
Okay. There's some exception. Yeah, there's some exception. Very rare exception. But once you get there, you know what I mean. Okay? Cái câu trả lời là một khi mà quý vị bản ngã nó không rồi thì tất cả đều là không. Why is that? The self empty meaning each dharma is a self, isn't it? Right? As long as a self, it's empty. Right? So you see everything is empty, except for one thing. So that's okay. But that's a very good wisdom. It means that you are very wise. You're not completely wise yet. That's why you still see some things that are not empty. So that's very rare exception.
What is that something? What is that something? What
He
is
just
that?
wanted to tell you.
What is that?
go back to sleep. Thì ngoài thì một khi mà không rồi tất cả nó đều không, tại tất cả nó có bản ngã đều là không. Thì có người hỏi trừ ra một vài cái trường hợp đặc biệt thôi, thì có người lập tức nhảy lên nói với thầy cái trường hợp đặc biệt là cái gì, để nó nói con trở về cái giấc ngủ của con đi, đừng có phá thầy nữa. Okay. What is not empty, your ignorance is not empty. Cái mà không là cái vô minh, cái gì nó còn chưa không. Whatever remains ignorant in your psyche is not empty yet. Okay? Emptiness here is the first level wisdom. Cái không này là cái tầng lớp đầu tiên mà của cái trí huệ. Quý vị thấy được cái không của bạn là you first have to see the emptiness as itself. That's called emptiness as the Theravada teaches. So far so good. It's very important. You need to get to that. Then you next get to the true emptiness. Rồi sau đó quý vị mới tới được cái chân không. So you have to distinguish in Buddhism very clearly. In Mahayana, it's a very clear distinction between emptiness and true emptiness. Bên cái Đại Thừa nó có sự phân biệt rất là rõ ràng về cái không và cái chân không. Okay? And the true emptiness is the emptying of your ignorance. Cái chân không bên Đại Thừa là cái không của cái vô minh của mình. Nhớ không? Cái không á, của bên Nguyên Thủy nó vẫn còn cái có, còn cái hữu của cái vô minh, vẫn còn cái vô minh ở trong. Còn cái chân không của Đại Thừa nó không còn, nó phá tan các cái loại vô minh, mới gọi là chân không. So what happened is that emptiness as Hinayana, the Theravada understands it, is emptiness, okay? But it still has the ignorance which is not empty yet, and that's why it's cannot be called true emptiness. True emptiness is when you obliterate, you destroy the emptiness, you destroy ignorance. Your ignorance becomes empty.
Wow.
So far, so good. At that point in time, going back to slide 467, lúc mà cái vị đắc được cái chân không đó, that is called prajna wisdom. Whereas the emptiness of the Hinayana Theravada level is considered to be transcendental wisdom, but it's not ultimate wisdom yet. Cái trí huệ mà bên Nguyên Thủy mà họ chứng đắc được là trí huệ của cái xúc thế. Tại sao thế nhỉ? Tại vì cái đó vẫn còn chưa phải cái trí huệ mà rốt ráo nhất mà quý vị có thể đắc được. Cái trí huệ đó là rốt ráo, là trí huệ bát nhã. Alright, so far so good. When you understand true emptiness, which is prajna, okay, then you take, we are slide 467, then you take true emptiness as existence. Okay. Lúc đó quý vị sẽ lấy cái chân không á, mà coi nó là cái hữu. You understand the difference now between emptiness and true emptiness? What does it mean? Empty and not empty. It says you are empty but not empty. What does it mean? Lúc đó mình sẽ thấy không mà thiệt ra không thấy, không phải là không. That's contrasted. See, as we spend half an hour talking about the emptiness of Theravada, so that you understand the distinguish the difference. Okay? Emptiness as in a Hinayana perspective is that everything is empty. The Mahayana says Everything is empty and yet it's not empty. That's a big difference. Bên cái nguyên thủy ta coi, ta nói là cái không là tất cả đều là không hết. Bên cái đại thừa, cái chân không nói là mặc dù nó không nhưng nó vẫn là có. Cái này rất là quan trọng. Yes? You understand the difference now? The Mahayana looks at, yes, it's empty, but at the same time it's not empty. That's a big difference. Empty but not empty. What does it mean?
Tôi thấy như vậy là tại vì còn không nhưng mà còn chấp vào trong cái không thành ra vẫn còn.
Well, what Trivedi said is very, very right. He says you look at it as empty and you attach to the emptiness. That's precisely what the problem in Hinayana is. They realize it's empty, and therefore they said, since you're empty anyway, Mr. Texas, you don't matter. That's what they say. Because it doesn't matter after all. It doesn't matter at all, right? You get angry, you get rich, you get sick, you get healthy, it's all empty. It doesn't matter. That's true wisdom. Think about that. You're not attached to sickness. You're not attached to health. You're not attached to being wealthy. You're not attached to being poor. So it doesn't matter. That's called empty. So far so good. Cái không mà bên nguyên thủy ta hiểu được, ta nói là mình khi quý vị không rồi thì nó không có gì nó quan trọng hết á. Cái không này, cái giàu nó có tiền cũng không quan trọng, cái nghèo không quan trọng, cái lạnh, cái mạnh khỏe cũng không quan trọng, cái bình hòa nó cũng không quan trọng, tại vì tất cả nó đều không hết, không có gì nó quan trọng hết. Ok? Đó, cái đó là ông Trà mới nói đó, cái đó là họ chấp vào cái không, vì họ thấy cái không thành họ chấp vào cái không. So what happened is that since you see everything empty, he says you are. What does it mean that what David just said? That you attach to emptiness. What does it mean? Chấp vào cái không là gì hả Trà?
Tức là mình cứ đổ cho mọi thứ điều trở về không.
Là sao? Làm cái gì?
Tức là mình cứ luôn cứ nghĩ là mọi thứ đều không thì chứng tỏ mình cũng còn chấp vô trong là không.
Okay. What does it mean? Yes?
Master, empty but not empty.
Yes.
That means it's still existing. Everything is still existing.
Yes. Yes. There's existence. Everything still exists.
But firstly say,
everything is empty.
Everything is
and yet,
empty.
And yet,
Yeah.
and yet,
Yes.
it's not empty.
Other meaning is still existing.
Yes. That's what's confusing with Mahayana. You see? How can something be empty and yet not empty? Miss Korea. Yes? How can it be?
Meditate.
Meditate. Okay? Làm sao mà thấy không, thiệt ra nó không phải là không. How is it possible? That's true wisdom. It's possible because when you're truly wise, that's when you understand that. So going back to the question, what does it mean when you see empty and you attach to emptiness? What happens at that point?
Still existing spiritual?
No.
No?
No. Yes.
But then you still have some ignorance left, I guess.
Some ignorance left, còn cái vô minh. Yes. Anyone? The men are giving up. Yes, Mr. Texas.
Well, okay, you're talking about you're attached to emptiness, right? Well, and everything goes to rack and ruin because you don't pay attention to anything.
Close.
Nothing
Tất cả nó hư hoại, cũng không để ý đó. Yes, Miss Korea.
You just let it be. As it
Just
is.
let it be. Close. Cứ phải để nó, kệ nó. Anyone in the women's side?
Still thinking?
Still thinking? Yes.
That's it.
The women are outnumbered by men for change now.
Amazing.
Easy. What do you mean? Yeah.
Let go.
You are empty. You let it exist as is. You don't put meanings into it.
Close. Yes.
What was I going to say? You don't, if you're attached to emptiness, then you have a hard time like just relating to people. You're going to have the mark of emptiness kind of.
If it's empty, okay? Nếu như nó không, why should it matter? Thì có gì quan trọng không? Earlier, you know, they came up and say, you know, it doesn't matter. It's empty. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
That's precisely the point. Hồi nãy có người nói đó, có một nhóm chủ trương rằng là nếu nó không thì nó không gì quan trọng. What does it mean when it's not empty? It doesn't matter. What does it mean?
Let go.
You reject it. That's a problem with the people who understand emptiness. They said, you are empty. Whether you stink or not doesn't matter. Whether you smell nice or not doesn't matter because you're empty. I am empty. Doesn't matter. Okay? Okay? So what happens is that typically these people, when they understand emptiness, they reject you. They say, you are empty. I'm going to ignore you. You're empty. I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to take care of myself.
If they say that, then they don't perceive themselves.
That's wisdom. They think it's wisdom.
Yeah.
Because if they see you as empty, and yet they still attach to you, they still, you know, approach you, then they have an attachment, right? They see it's an attachment. That's the wisdom. It's nature. Wisdom is misleading. They say, if you're empty, I can ignore you, right? That's wisdom. That's an attachment. Translating to rejecting others. They say, I can ignore you if you're empty anyway. Right? If you're suffering, you're hurting, since you're empty anyway, why should it matter to me? See the problem?
Yeah.
Make sense? So it's a beautiful case where, because of your own wisdom, you shoot yourself in the foot. You say, because you're empty, whether you're suffering or you're happy, it doesn't matter to me. That's ignorance. Because it should matter to you.
Right.
Is it clear?
Right.
And that is part of Mahayana wisdom. Because just because you're empty doesn't mean that you can ignore your wife. You can ignore your husband's suffering. You can ignore all these people's suffering. Is it clear?
Yeah, right.
That's wisdom.
Sure.
That's complete wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Mahayana is all about caring about others, isn't it? It's about being kind to others, helping others, putting others before yourself, all those kinds of things.
Something
So
like that.
if you don't do that, it's not Mahayana, it's something else.
Okay. Let me translate in Vietnamese before I forget. Cái điểm là quan trọng. Cái bên cái trí huệ của Nguyên Thủy ấy, thì người ta thấy đó, tất cả đều là không. Có nghĩa là nếu như quý vị mà đang khổ sở đó, ok, thì đối với cái người mà có trí huệ tiểu thừa, người ta nói đâu có sao đâu, tại quý vị là không rồi, tại quý vị khổ, quý vị sướng nó cũng là không hết, đâu có nhầm gì đâu. Thành họ có quyền nói là nó không quan trọng, quý vị không quan trọng nữa, ok. Họ chỉ lo cho họ thôi, tại tất cả đều là không hết. Thành cái đó là cái bản tính của vô minh của bên cái Nguyên Thủy, họ vẫn còn chấp vào cái không. In other words, the Theravadins, okay, are attached to the concept of emptiness. Right? There's something called emptiness. That's very important. You have to nghe rõ là họ chấp vào cái không. Tại họ còn nhìn cái quan niệm tất cả. They are attached to the thought of emptiness. And you thought about that, so it's okay to reject it. Your suffering doesn't matter to me. Your happiness doesn't matter to me. Because you are empty after all. Thành ra họ chấp vào cái quan niệm không. Thành ra gặp nhiều quý vị khổ cũng không sao hết. Quý vị là không rồi. Quý vị sung sướng, quý vị cũng là không hết. Thành ra không sao hết. Yes.
But doesn't that still to hang on to a sort of self? I mean, if you have no self, wouldn't you automatically see the other person's suffering as your own?
There's not hanging on to self. There's only a concept of emptiness that hanging on to. There's no self.
But if you had no self, on what basis would you distinguish other person's suffering?
There's no self-understanding that. It's just that there is the understanding of emptiness. It says you're empty anyway. I don't need a self to understand that. The fact is that you're empty. I don't need to have a self to understand that you're empty. Does it make sense? That's a very good point. Does it make sense to you? Hôm nay ngoài như vậy là không phải vẫn còn cái ngã sao? Thầy mới giảng đâu có cái ngã gì đâu. Một khi mà quý vị đã không rồi thì cái trí huệ cho quý vị hiểu tất cả mọi việc là không. Đâu cần cái ngã mới hiểu là là tất cả mọi việc là cái việc là không đâu. Trí huệ quý vị cho thấy rằng không cần ngã vẫn thấy tất cả là không. Con nghe có lý không? Có rõ là không? Không cần cái ngã mới thấy cái không. Tất cả đều là không, không cần ai thấy vẫn là không như thường. Hiểu không? Cái đó là cái trí huệ. Thì phân biệt rõ ràng không? Okay? Is it clear? Okay? There is no need for a self to understand the concept of emptiness. There's no need. Everything is empty anyway. There's no need for anyone to understand. So far, so good? And that's precisely because that understanding emptiness, they're stuck on that concept of emptiness. They refuse to do anything about anything. Chính vì họ có cái trí huệ, họ thấy được cái không, thành là họ chấp trước vào cái hiểu cái không đó, thành họ không chịu làm cái gì tất cả, bất cứ cái gì cả, tại vì tất cả đều là không, làm cũng là không. Because whatever you do is also empty. Does it make sense? Right? That's a fallacy of that concept. That's a fallacy of the wisdom. Cái đó cái tai hại của cái hiểu về cái không đó. Okay? You stuck on the concept of emptiness, therefore you lack compassion. Vì mình kẹt vào cái không đó, thành ra quý vị kẹt vào cái quan niệm không, thành quý vị thiếu cái tâm từ bi. You understand that? Wisdom is not simply understanding. Is it clear? Thì mình nghe rõ không? Cái trí huệ không phải chỉ là hiểu thôi. Wisdom is to have compassion as well. Trí huệ phải cần cái từ bi nữa mới gọi là trí huệ. So far, so good? Yes.
But what about, say, these Theravadan practitioners? They still do help others, maybe not as broadly or as expansively as in Mahayana, but they don't just sit there and do absolutely nothing. They still give people a chance to plant blessings, and they still teach.
No.
Don't they?
No, they don't have to. Có người hỏi là có những người mà A-la-hán, người đắc A-la-hán, người ta đi ta cứu độ chúng sanh, không phải nhiều như bên Đại thừa như vẫn cứu độ chúng sanh. Không phải là người ta cái trường hợp đặc biệt không? Mình thấy nó đâu có đâu. The typical arhats, the true and the wisdom of an arhat is that you empty, I'm empty anymore. Why do you bow to me? Are you crazy or something? They don't want you to bow to them. the venerable Quảng Xi. Cái người trí huệ A La Hán, người ta quý vị hiểu lòng là người ta nói đâu có cho phép quý vị đảnh lễ người ta. Tại nói tôi là không, đảnh lễ tôi làm cái gì? Why do you bow to me? Why do you respect me? Why do you offer food to me? I'm empty. I don't care. Right? And that's the typical Buddha. He says, doesn't matter, leave me alone. Don't bow to me. Don't offer food to me. Thành cái người A-la-hán trí huệ chân chính, người ta sẽ nói là tôi là không rồi, quý vị không cần phải đảnh lễ tôi, quý vị không cần phải cúng dường với tôi. Why is that? Why not? Because part of the understanding is that if you bow to me, then I have to bow to you in the future. I owe you something. Thành ra cái trí huệ người ta hay lắm, người nhà A hay lắm, là nếu mà tôi nhận cái lễ quý vị là trong tương lai tôi phải trả lại cái lễ đó. If I accept your bow, in the future I have to bow you back.
So what?
I owe you. Icky. To owe. It's icky. To the Arhat, it says it's impure. Ooh. It's like not taking a shower after a day. You feel icky because you owe someone. That's how pure they are. They don't owe you anything. They don't want to owe you anything. That's wisdom. See, you don't understand that in this Korea. Because you think, for example, that your customer pays you $10,000. That's success. Okay? The Arhat, if you're an Arhat, someone gives you $10,000, he says, oh my God, now I have to pay her back.
Well, I understand where this is coming from, but we are not supposed to be alone, right? We are all connected. Don't they eat?
Yeah, they do.
If they eat, they owe something to the universe.
Not if they get it themselves.
It's circulating. You know?
Not if they cook it themselves, or they grow the food themselves, or go pick it from the tree and eat it.
Well, he owes to the tree.
The tree will not claim it on him, but the person will. Right? Because I don't know about, there's a difference between you and the tree. I take a fruit from the tree. The tree will not make a demand on me. I take it from you. He says, Master, can I see you after lecture? I have a question, I have a problem. Sounds familiar? Huh? It's not free, is it? That's what I understand. He says, I'm not greedy for your offerings anymore. Because I'm empty and you're empty, the offering is empty. Remarkable wisdom. Think about that. We are attached to food. We are attached to money. That's why when you give me a check for $10,000, I said, thank you so much. That's attachment, right? The Arhat says, the Arhat who has wisdom, he says, oh, I don't want it. Please don't give it to me. Give it to someone else. Why? Because he does not want to owe you. Yes.
If you say the Arhat see 10,000 or about is something he owes us,
Yes.
it means he didn't see that empty. He see that it's something.
No, it is empty.
Because he said, okay, I own the bow, next I have to bow back later. It means it's not empty. It's something.
God, these Vietnamese are difficult to teach. Làm khó làm dễ thầy. Thầy nói là cái người A-la-hán người ta không có tham, mình còn tham cái tiền, tham cái danh vọng, tham này nọ, thành mình người A-la-hán cho có trí huệ, người ta cúng với mình một ngàn đồng đó, thì mình biết mà nợ tao ngàn đồng sau mình phải trả. Rồi có người Việt Nam lập tức giơ tay lên hỏi, nếu như mà cái thầy mà A-la-hán mà thầy còn thấy 1.000 đồng mà thầy còn sợ đó, thì thầy vẫn còn chưa không? Thầy trả lời, con làm khó làm dễ thầy hoài. Help me out, people. Is she right? If the arhat is the wise person, is afraid of owing you $1,000, $10,000, then he's not empty yet, is he?
No.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't help her.
But it's
You're
true.
supposed to be on my side.
It's true.
Right? What's the logic? I can't explain this either.
I don't know, it sounds
Yeah.
weird.
This
If
is
someone
why people
gives
who explain these things, you get for confused question like that, will just throw a curve into everything. Yeah.
If someone offers $10,000 to an arhat, the arhat can accept it on behalf of the triple jewel, but he didn't. He made a personal.
No. He can may accept it on behalf of the triple jewel, but still he knows he still owes you.
Why? Why
if
would
you
he?
take it, you owe someone. There's nothing free in life, no free lunch, Vicky. You may take it and you give it to pray the Lord, okay? But still you take it. So you're responsible for this karma of taking. Right? You're the one who takes it, not them. You can give it to them. Yeah, now they owe you. But personally, you still owe the donor, right? There's one taking and second taking here. Okay? Here is between me and the triple jewel. That's different. But before that happens, I take it from Miss Korea. Okay? Now I owe Miss Korea. Correct? And then the point here, then you're not empty because you're afraid.
That's what I think. I wouldn't.
But
I wouldn't be afraid.
yeah, the donor is also supposed to donate empty, right? And forget about it. I'm sorry, okay.
If you forget about that, if you forget about it, then you're not empty, are you? You are cheating me.
Oh, you teach that charity has to be done empty.
Here's
right?
what happened. You give me $10,000, and I say thank you. It's empty anyway. I don't owe you anything, so I'm not going to talk to you after the lecture. Am I not cheating you? That is not seen as empty. You see the difference? Does it make sense to you? If I take the money and I say, it's empty anyway, I can take it. Then you're not empty. You're fake. It's very important to understand that. Is it clear to you? I know it's not clear to any of you. Because there's teachers out there like Bhante, he says, oh, I'm a great master. Give money to me. I build big temple to serve you. To help living beings. Sounds familiar? Okay? I'm empty anyway. If you ask me, give. Sounds familiar?
It's so funny.
You're not empty. Why not? Thầy nhắc cái chuyện này quan trọng. Nếu có ông thầy đó mà nói là các con, quý vị cứ cúng dường cho thầy đi. Cúng 10 triệu, 20 triệu, 100 triệu đô la, chứ không phải Việt Nam. Để thầy xây chùa, để thầy độ chúng sanh. Thì cái người đó không phải là không. Tại sao? Why not? Now everyone says, wow, this is great, I don't have to give him the money. Everyone's so excited. He says, even Bhante, he says, oh, now I don't have to give him anything. This is perfect. Why isn't that person not empty when he says, give? Cái người mà nói cứ cúng cho thầy đi.
Because he's asking, he's seeking, he's asking.
He's asking.
That's why it's not empty.
It's not empty. That's very good. And what else? What's another reason?
He he's still attached to the making a big
That's right. If he's truly empty, okay, he would say, give it to her. Give it to Miss Korea. Don't give it to me.
Thank you.
Make sense? You understand that?
Absolutely.
You understand? Give it to Bante. Don't give it to me. Bow to him. Don't bow to me. That's wisdom. Right? Make sense? They would never do it for themselves. If they do it for you, to give me temple so that I can build, that is an I there. You see that? But you sincere and faithful people love so much to give, donate money to Triple Jewel, so I can have to take it. You see that? I can take it. There's an I who's taken. If you're truly empty, you said, yes, give money to Triple Jewel, but give it to the other monk. It's the same. Understand? Don't give it to me. Don't bow to me. Bow to that monk. Bow to him. Make sense? Is it clear? This is very subtle. No one understands this. I knew it.
I understand it. Yeah. It's understandable. What do you don't think?
Make sense or not?
Yes, it makes sense. Of course. You made the point. It's very good. Yeah.
Yes.
Tôi thấy trường hợp khác người dĩ nhiên là thay vì cho tiền thì có xây chùa đi rồi cho tôi xây chùa rồi tôi sẽ làm.
Now, Trivik has another point. He says, instead of giving you money, can I build a temple for you? And then you take it.
You are going to? No?
Still in.
He says, just like a lot of Vietnamese, Miss Korea, they just make promises.
It's all talk. It's all talk.
I heard so many times during these several years. Master, I give you $6 million. Master, I give you a temple. Master, I adore you. You're the greatest. All those things. I heard them all. Trust me. Don't take them literally.
It sounds like a guy trying to hook up.
Yeah, just like I love you. Sound familiar?
Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, don't trust Vietnamese, man. See, Kim Lian said, I always knew that. She's not touching this with a 10-foot pole. Yes.
But if someone wants to give you money, for example, to build a temple, and you say give it to somebody else, how would that not be shirking responsibility if they chose for you to have the responsibility to build a temple?
Oh my God, this is your first time now or second time?
Well, what's the difference?
The difference, you're giving me a headache. Okay, someone help me out here while I rub my temple.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Yes?
I was wondering, sort of along the same lines, if you say give it to someone else, isn't there still a mark of self and other? Like, I don't want it, give it to this other person.
And you can't win, can you?
I can't. It serves you right for trying to explain the concept of emptiness that no one understands. This is like trying to explain to a bunch of ignoramuses about emptiness. And I sit here and say, it's so clear to me. Why can't you get it? Why do you ask so many questions? It's so clear to me. I don't get it. What's the matter with you? Never mind.
Explain more.
Can you move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
No, we can't move on.
No.
This is very important.
No.
I got it.
We're not clear. Yeah.
This is very important. Okay, so what's the difference between me not accepting it and passing it on to the next one? Am I shirking responsibility? Am I?
No. No.
Thank you. Why not?
Because it's still going to be a temple that's going to be built in honor of the Triple Jewel. And you don't have to be the cross between.
my answer to her, the newcomer, is that if I'm empty, who's shirking responsibility? See exactly why you don't understand emptiness yet. I can hide behind emptiness. They say, I'm empty. I can shirk all responsibility I want. Well, I don't want, because I'm empty anyway. Doesn't matter what I do. Right? If I'm truly empty, doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. If I take it or I don't take it, doesn't matter. Correct?
Right.
True or not?
Yes.
Right.
Let me finish, Mr. Texas. Don't interrupt me now. This is important. You agree with that so far? If I shirk responsibility, so be it. But I'm empty. Doesn't matter. Tough luck. Okay? So far so good. Nghe rõ không? Nếu cái người hỏi cái cơ hội hóc búa, mấy con quỷ này hỏi còn chuyện hóc búa không? Cái cố ý giảng cái vị cái quan niệm không là không ai hiểu được gì hết. Mà cứ giảng hỏi không ai hiểu được gì hết, chán dễ sợ. Có người hỏi là nếu như mà người ta cúng cái chùa cho thầy mà thầy từ chối, thầy nói nhường lại cho người khác, thì không phải thầy đang trốn tránh trách nhiệm sao? Thầy trả lời ngược lại, nếu thực sự thầy là không rồi á, thì nếu thầy trốn tránh trách nhiệm là không trốn tránh trách nhiệm đó, nó đâu còn quan trọng nữa đâu, đúng không? Thầy không mà thầy trốn kệ thầy. If I'm empty, if I shirk responsibility, so what? I'm empty. Okay? That's the answer. Does it help or not? But, there's a but. But, the next question is, which is better? Should you take it or should you shirk responsibility? Right? I'm helping you now. I'm on your side. It's okay. We're on the same side. Okay? Don't feel bad. I hate it when people ask tough questions, but I recover very quickly. Because I'm empty. At least I try to be. I pretend to be. Okay? Tại cái câu hỏi tiếp theo, hỏi tiếp là câu hỏi này. Nếu như vậy thì giữa cái sự lựa chọn và mình nhận cái chùa với mình trốn tránh trách nhiệm thì cái nào là tốt hơn? Does it make sense? A follow-up question? Why do you choose to shirk responsibility? That's what she means. It says you are such a coward. You shirk responsibility. You don't dare take my offering. You're a coward, after all. Is that what you meant? Don't nod your head. You're supposed to know protocol. You say, Master, you're wonderful, that's why I'm here. Don't say, you are such a coward, why do I bother coming here?
We've asked the same thing.
And then she said, but aren't you empty? So it's okay to be a coward. Yes.
Master, some man or woman like to give to master to $10,000.
Yeah.
But when she or he come to meet master and I would like to give to $10,000, master immediately refused. I don't like to get the money.
Right.
After that, he or she said, I don't like to give other people. Right. I like to give only master. But
I don't like where he's going.
No, Master, my point is, then,
yes, what is your point?
Then, after that, master can guide, no problem. Now
I gave you a hint already, you could start.
Can master what?
No, master, after that, master can say, I don't like to get the money, but I can guide you. You should do this one or that one. Then you can get a lot of merits, because master can guide without get the money. Master can guide. You should do this. Then you can go forward with suffering and with troubles. You can get a lot of merits.
Yes. That's true.
My question is...
That's true. I like it better. Here's the point. She's right. She got it. She hit the problem, the nail right on the head. The problem with the arhat refusing to take a vow, to accept a vow, refusing $10,000, refusing a big temple, is that he's selfish. He understands that nothing is free ever. If I take $1 from you, I have to pay you back $1 plus interest. That's the law of cause and effect. You cannot avoid it. Okay? Is it clear? Cái kia là quan trọng là người A-la-hán có trí huệ chân chính, người ta hiểu, ngài hiểu rằng cái luật nhân quả nó rõ ràng. Nhận một xu phải trả lại một xu cộng với tiền lợi, không cách nào chạy được. You cannot run away from that. That's a law of cause and effect. Okay? Luật nhân quả nó rõ ràng. Lấy thì phải trả, vay phải trả, không cách nào trốn tránh trách nhiệm được. It's impossible to negate your debt. You have to pay off your debt. There's no other way. Is it clear? That's the arhat's wisdom. Once you attain the emptiness of the self, then you also understand that law of cause and effect. Everything carries a reaction. Okay? It's no other way. Is it clear? Nghe rõ ràng không? Người mà đắc được cái chứng, đắc được cái không của cái ngã là lúc đó cũng hiểu luôn cái luật của nhân quả, cái luật của cái vũ trụ này, luật nhân quả là có vay rồi có trả. Cách nào chạy đâu được. Yes.
But it couldn't be arhat if they're a Theravada, Rahinagata arhat, can't they almost act with impunity because at the end of that life they're not coming back?
Really?
How can anybody make a claim on them if they don't come back? Or if that's their conception anyway?
Then you're talking about an arhat so wise that he can say, take anything, and then since they're not coming back, there's no effect. Whoopee!
No, that doesn't work.
What a cheapskate this guy is. God, he's a thief.
Yeah.
He can take it and say, because I'm gonna take money from this nice looking girl, and then I'm gonna go to the heart and become an arhat, I don't have to pay you back. That's highway robbery. You don't do that. Jesus.
Well, sounds illogical though.
He's so content. He discovered a new formula. I can take and not pay back. New formula. The guy does not understand the law of cause and effect at all, because his self is not empty yet. Is it clear? I'm ashamed for him. How can you take and not pay back? There's no such thing. Trust me, there's no such thing in this universe. Whatever you take, you have to pay back. That's part of the transcendental wisdom. You say it because you have no transcendental wisdom whatsoever. Seriously, if you really have true transcendental wisdom, you no are longer greedy for offerings. Because you know you have to pay it back, plus interest. That's why the arhat says, I know you want to create blessings with the triple jewel, but here, go there. It's the same thing. It's better, because I don't want to owe you, but he wants to. He thinks he can become an arhat and not pay you back. Go ahead. Would you say it's better for you, for me? See? It's much better for me. So far so good? Thì nghe rõ ràng không? Là cái người mà cái ông này ông hỏi gì chứ kêu có người đệ tử của thầy Sa Di hỏi gì thưa thầy, nếu như mà thầy nhận xong rồi, khi mà thầy đã La Hán thầy cứ nhận đại đi, xong khi mà thầy chết thầy nhập niết bàn rồi thầy có đâu còn trở lại đâu mà cần trả người ta. Thầy cứ chửi nó một trận nói cái mày là học của ai vậy? Thầy muốn dạy cái pháp mà ông cắt người ta như vậy đó, cái luật nhân quả rõ ràng đó. Đó. Con nói như vậy được là tại vì cái tâm con nó vẫn chưa có thức không, còn chưa hiểu cái luật nhân quả nên vẫn còn tham lam. Đó. Cái đâu có cái chuyện đó được, mình lấy mình vay phải trả, không cách nào mà chạy nó được hết. Okay. Những người có trí huệ sẽ hiểu được như vậy. The people who are wise understand the natural that you take, you have to pay back. No other way. So how do you take? How do you take? Nhưng mà sao mình nhận bây giờ? If you're an arhat, Bhante, like this guy here in Facebook, the guy I put a picture on my Facebook page recently. So you're an arhat, okay? And you don't have a tree there to pick up a tree to eat on. You live in a city, right? And you need to pay for electricity, you need to pay for gas, you need to pay for water, you need to pay for food, okay? How can you not take? Giờ cái nó rộng hơn, bằng rộng hơn. Như cái người A-la-hán không ở trong cái thôn giả mà ở trong thành thị, không có cây để mà hái để mà ăn, không có ruộng để mà trồng ra gạo mà ăn. Thì bây giờ phải mỗi tháng phải trả tiền điện, tiền nước, tiền nhà, tiền cửa, tiền xe, tiền hơi. Thì bây giờ làm sao bây giờ? Làm sao mình nhận bây giờ? Yeah? According to my venerable Xian Jie here, he said, just take, don't worry. Just take. Make sure you cultivate hard. You become an arhat and don't pay back. That's his wisdom. Okay? Besides that kind of wisdom, okay? How do you take? Yes?
As a bodhisattva, can you use those conditions to set up affinities that you later down the line use to teach beings?
One way is that you go into debt. You deliberately go into debt. He said, okay, give me the $100 million temple. I accept my own, because I'm making a sacrifice. Okay? I owe you $100 million. I pay you back. That's one way. So far, so good. He's doing it out of wisdom, Miss Korea, not because Miss Korea is, oh, you're so greedy after all. Now I know who you really are. Okay? He's doing it deliberately. It's not out of greed. He says, I need to owe him in order to save him later. This guy's karma is very heavy. He gives you $100 million, but he stole 10 billion from his clients from a Ponzi scheme. He stole $10 billion. He gave me $100 million. So maybe I should take it so I can save him from him later. Make sense? So just give me the big temples, and maybe I can save him later. Okay? Does it make sense? It may not make sense to you right now, but so there's one option that you deliberately choose to go into debt in order to create what the Buddhist term is create affinity to come back and save them later. Okay? That's one option. Thành ra bây giờ muốn trường hợp đó mình làm sao bây giờ? Bây giờ một cái phương pháp á, là mình cố ý nợ người ta để sau này mình phải tìm người ta mình trả lại. Chẳng hạn như cái người có trí huệ, tôi nói cái ông này ăn cắp của khách hàng á, là 6 tỷ đô la, thì ông cúng được 100 triệu thôi, thì mình nợ 100 triệu sau mình tới mình tìm cách mình cứu mạng mình sau. Okay. So far so good. What's another way? Cách khác là sao?
You teach and talk Dharma.
Giảng pháp và dạy pháp. Why?
Because they create a lot of blessings and pay back the debts. It doesn't pay back.
But I teach you, but I don't teach him. He's the one I owe.
It's better than nothing. Butterfly effect. Maybe this person go and help the other one.
Yeah. You understand the dilemma here? I mean, you teach to everyone. But what if that person does not learn from you? He's from the Silai temple. I'm kidding. What about it? Yes.
Or what if we help that person get to the Pure Land, then they will come back and make it clean?
He'll come back.
No, not you. That person goes to the Pure Land.
He has another brilliant idea. He says, just send him off to the Pure Land. He's not coming back ever. Cái ông này có ý kiến với cái hay hơn nữa là thầy mà không nhập niết bàn thì thầy gửi nó đi Tây Phương Cực Lạc, nó không bao giờ trở lại đâu. Không cần trả nợ. You still owe him.
But the creditor is not coming back. That's a good mark.
Yeah. I'm giving up. Okay, here's another way you do it. Okay. You do an exchange. That's what my master did. Okay. My master the patriarchs, they created something called wax. Okay. Cái này mấy tổ sư nó tạo ra. You see, what happened in your tradition is you go and you beg for food. People give you food, you owe them. Like it or not. Right? Cái truyền thống của Nguyên Thủy, người ta ra, người ta đi cất thực. Bất cứ ai mà cúng quý vị một hạt cơm, thì mình nợ ta một hạt cơm. Phải trả lại cái hạt cơm. Yes sir. Okay? You have to, yeah.
Dạ, thưa thầy, tức là mình chỉ nghĩ một chiều là mình âu người ta, tại sao mình nghĩ là người ta trả nợ lại cho mình?
Có thể người ta trả nợ, đâu phải ai cũng trả nợ, phần lớn là mình nợ người ta, mình không trả đâu. Okay. So he says, Trader says, why do you always think you owe them? What if they owe you? I said, it's possible they owe you, but chances are that you owe them. Okay? You keep on begging for food like that, you're going to run into people that you owe, that you will have to owe if you take it, right? Đi đêm sẽ có ngày gặp ma, sẽ có người đó mình nợ một hạt gạo mình chết. Okay? So I said, if you run to people that don't owe you and they give you something, you take it, then you owe them. It's going to happen. Agree? Okay? So in Mahayana, we have a different approach where we don't go out begging like that every day. Đại thừa cái dùng phương pháp khác không chạy ra cái thất thực for many reasons. And in contrast, in order to support ourselves, the patriarchs created these things, these flags. That's one way. Okay, so the faithful come and purchase a plaque, okay, in exchange for help to solve the problems. For example, if you have a disease and you go to a doctor, it costs you X amount of dollars to fix it, right? And sometimes the doctors can't fix it for you. You go and get a plaque, we fix it for you, and in exchange for the offering. And what happens actually in the end, you owe us, because what we're asking for, the plaques in exchange for the service, is a lot less than what you would pay out there in the marketplace. So in the end, you owe us. We don't owe you. Does it make sense? That's Mahayana approach. Okay. Đó là cái pháp, mấy cái bài vị đó, một cái phương tiện để mà mấy tổ sư đã tạo ra để mà bên đại thừa ta tránh cái chừng nợ người ta. Tại vì chẳng hạn như cái vị mà cần một cái chuyện gì làm đó, cần một cái chẳng hạn như bị bệnh mà tới bác sĩ mà chữa không xong, tới chùa thỉnh bài vị, thì khi chữa được thì cái tiền cúng dường cho cái bài vị nó ít hơn cái trị giá thị trường chữa cái bệnh. Okay. Thành như vậy thì ra là các vị tổ sư không nợ cái gì, mà cái vị nợ vẫn còn nợ tổ sư. Does it make sense? This is a wisdom from Mahayana. That's why the Chinese patriarchs created that system. I'm not sure it's available in India. Is it available in India? I'm not sure. Because, Buddhism moved from India to China like over 1,000 years ago, or close to 2,000 years ago. So I don't know what happened in India, but I know from the Chinese tradition they use that expedient to get out of that situation, to avoid that fact what we owe you. Okay. Any other question? Ai thắc mắc gì khác không? Yes.
I have a somewhat related question about the plaque dharma. But like, let's say, to make an example with Master Hua, if Great Master Shin Hua helped heal somebody's illness, then he takes on some of their karma. Yeah. Is there a difference between him directly healing them versus using, say, the Medicine Master Buddha plaque to heal them? In other words, does Medicine Master Buddha take on some of that karmic debt if you're using that dharma versus if he just heals the person directly? Is there a difference?
Not really.
Not really.
His state is different, so I don't want to elaborate too much on it. Okay. When you get there, you understand. There's no sense, if I talk more about it, it becomes gossip. If you're there at his very high level, then you understand why it's being done at times this way, at times the other way. It's our level, at your level, there's no need to complicate the picture. Okay, yes. Cần dịch tiếng Việt không? Okay, fine. Okay, going back to the question about your ignorance, how come you don't understand the concept of emptiness? And I think the question that remains unresolved is something about how come you understand emptiness and you still refuse to take people's offerings because are you afraid or whatever? Did we solve that question or not? I think there's still something that's still unresolved. I don't remember exactly. Huh?
I believe you resolved it.
Huh? No problem? No outstanding problems?
You resolved that already.
You resolved everything? Okay, then we move on. We're still on the first slide. believe it or not, second line after an hour and a half. Okay, so that's what he meant by prajna here is a Sanskrit word that means transcendental wisdom. You have transcendental wisdom, then you say empty but not empty, meaning you realize it's empty. It doesn't matter. Okay, meaning everyone's empty. Basically, it goes back to emptiness. Okay, this body here will disintegrate eventually and goes back to emptiness. It will disappear ultimately. You look at everything, in a long enough timeline, everything disintegrates. That's emptiness, basically. Okay, so there's no need to be attached to it. You only attach it right now because you still look at it as in a very short time interval. You think there's still something here. Look longer, you'll be gone. Doesn't matter. For example, typically people are so attached to money. Okay? And then they make a lot of money, they sacrifice the body, sacrifice their time, family life, relationship, make a lot of money, and then when they die, they leave behind a chunk of money. What for? Okay, so because they don't see money is empty yet. Okay, so the concept emptiness is a very important concept. Emptiness can be explained, as I just said, in a very simple terms, in terms of timeline. Look at it long enough. Dinosaurs are no longer. Therefore, dinosaurs are empty. Your ancestors are empty because they're no longer. So will we. You will become someone's ancestors in the future. We are empty as well. Okay? That's the emptiness. And yet, so that's what the Buddhist wisdom understands. They transcend the timeline. They say, oh, basically, everything is empty. Okay? So don't be so attached to anything. That's the concept of emptiness. So far, so good? And yet, it's not empty. Why is that? And this refers to the wisdom of transcendental wisdom of Mahayana. Okay? That is, even though you yourself realize it's empty, so far so good. You know it's empty. But Miss Korea, oh, she's sleeping. Excuse me. Does not see it as empty. She's still suffering. So how could you? How could you only worry about yourself? He says, you are empty, but what about her? She's not empty yet. She does not see herself as empty yet. If you only take care of yourself, who's going to help her now? That's the practical wisdom. He says, you are empty, but let me explain to you in very simple terms, not like this entirely, but 99% is, but she's not empty. Therefore, you have to help her. So far, so good? Okay? Thằng thầy giảng cái ngữ không mà không này, mà không phải không này, theo một cách giản dị thôi, thực sự nó không phải hoàn toàn như vậy đâu, được 90% là nó như vậy rồi. Mặc dù quý vị là không rồi, vì A-la-hán biết mình là không rồi, nhưng đều cái đối tượng mình vẫn chưa thấy cái không. Mà nếu như mình chỉ lo cho mình không thì mình quá ích kỷ. Cái người này, cái trí huệ Bát Nhã là cái trí huệ nó khác trí huệ ngài A-la-hán kiểu đó. Ngài họ thấy được cái không của cái bản ngã, nhưng được họ còn chêm vào cái lòng từ bi cho những người mà chưa thấy được cái không, thành mới gọi là không phải là không. Cái đó là cái động cơ thúc đẩy của họ. Tại sao nhìn không nên nhìn nó là không? So you understand that empty, not yet empty, meaning that yes, you have wisdom to detach and not attach to all these insignificant things out there, external things. That's wisdom. However, it's coupled with the fact that you have caring for others besides yourself. That is practical wisdom. That's complete wisdom. The wisdom to detach from yourself and yet incorporate the fact that you may not detach yet. and I have to help you detach. That's practical wisdom. The practical wisdom, in contrast to Hinayana wisdom, is that yes, I'm empty, I realize that, but I make it a point to help you understand emptiness as well, because I want you to experience the happiness, the bliss, the pleasure that you experience in emptiness. I want to share my bliss, my happiness with you, teach you how to get it, because I see you as suffering and help you escape your suffering, end your suffering. Okay? Thành cái sự khác biệt giữa cái không của bên nguyên thủy với không đại thừa ở chỗ này, không nguyên thủy họ thấy được cái không thì họ ngừng hết tất cả cái phiền não, nhưng đều cái không đại thừa là họ nhìn biết mình là không rồi, nhưng để họ nhìn cái chúng sanh vẫn chưa thấy được cái không của họ, nên họ dùng cố ý là họ dạy chúng sanh thoát được thoát cái chấp trước của họ, chưa thấy được mình là không, thành ra họ thường dạy chúng sanh cái cách trở thành không. Cái đó là trí huệ bát nhã. Yes.
Would it be incorrect, or would the person with prajna wisdom ever say something like, actually I'm not empty because I'm not separate from Miss Korea and she's not empty?
That's one way, yes. Bởi vì cái câu hỏi này là nếu như vậy cái người mà đại thừa nó hiểu được, ta nói là tôi chứ phải là không. Bây giờ cái người giác ngộ ta nói là tôi chứ phải là không, nhưng mà thiệt ra nhưng mà thiệt ra lý do chính là tại vì tôi bây giờ tôi không đều cái người kia chưa không, tại tôi chưa hoàn toàn không được. Thì nói đúng. What's another reason? There's no I. Okay? It says, if the question will come to you and say, are you empty? The answer is, no, I'm not.
See?
Right? Is he lying? No, he's not. There's no I. There's no I who's lying. There's no I who's empty. Only you look at him is not empty, that's all. Right? Anyway, any other questions? So, in this prajna wisdom, in this truly, truly transcendental wisdom, this complete wisdom, the ultimate wisdom, you attach nothing. It's called true wisdom, ultimate wisdom, because you really have no attachment to anything whatsoever. Nothing. Thành cái trí huệ bát nhã là trí huệ xuất thế, là cái trí huệ rốt ráo, tại vì nó hoàn toàn không có bất cứ chấp trước nào. Again, because in contrast to Hinayana emptiness concept is that they still attach to that concept of emptiness that dictates all their actions. Because you're empty, I don't have to care for you. It doesn't matter if she's empty anyway. If I help you, I don't help you, it doesn't matter at all. You're empty as well, so if I help you, or you're suffering, or you're happy, it's all the same to me. It should be all the same to you, so it doesn't matter. Okay, that kind of wisdom is good, but it's not complete yet, because it attaches to not helping, to not doing anything, and that's an attachment that's very subtle. Until you get there, you won't know how pervasive it is. You look at everything, you say, "Oh my God, everything is empty. I don't need to do anything. I isolate myself from life because it doesn't matter anyway." It lacks wisdom. It lacks compassion. That is really running away from life. That is shirking responsibility. Truly is. Okay. And cái khác biệt là vậy. Nguyên thủy ta thấy cái không là chấp vào cái không, ta không làm cái gì hết, gọi là vô tác. Còn cái đại thừa, cái vô tác của đại thừa không có nghĩa như vậy. Vô tác đại thừa là mình biết mình là không, như mình vẫn vì mình có vẫn tạo nghiệp như thường để giúp những chúng sanh chưa đắc được cái không đó. Yes.
Oh, would we say the arhat is attached to the concept of emptiness or like the experience of emptiness? Is there a difference there? I mean, I feel
No
like
difference.
there's no difference.
No difference. Yes. No.
But isn't it a concept, like I can understand the concept of emptiness as like an intellectual almost thing,
No, you
but
can't.
I don't have the experience of emptiness.
No, you can't.
So I don't understand the
You
concept.
don't understand. No.
Without the experience, you don't have the concept even.
It's only your imagination. You think you understand emptiness, but you don't. You only think, you only convince yourself you understand, but you don't. There's no telling otherwise. There's no telling you otherwise. You're a fool, but we can't tell you. You will not believe it. That's the nature of ignorance. You're so sure you know, and yet you really don't know. So intellectual process for it. Only your imagination. Yeah, I know. It's horrible, isn't it? It makes you cry. Any other questions? Tại vì Kim Điền nhiều khi thầy giảng tiếng Anh mà thầy không dịch ra, thầy không dám dịch nhiều nữa, tại cái tiếng Việt với tiếng Anh thầy nó khác nhau. Tại vì khi mình phải chặt nó ra xong rồi mình làm hai bên cùng một lúc để mà nhiều khi giảng tiếng Việt mà thầy không giảng tiếng Anh, hoặc tiếng Anh không giảng tiếng Việt nó còn lại. Okay. Now, Kim Điền is such a skeptical person. I try to convince her that we need both the Vietnamese and English file, because sometimes I don't translate from one language to the other, and she giggles. Yeah. She's not empty yet. Clearly. All right. Any other questions? So the person who has wisdom will not attach to anything. Okay. Người có trí huệ không chấp vào cái gì hết. And in particular, no seeking. Okay. Actually, you can do non-action. Okay, this is the concept of non-action. Okay, that they have, the arhat has, meaning that the people with wisdom has. They are really not after anything. Okay, nothing is that important. That's why they have no desires. They don't think it's any that important. You must do something for it. Okay. And so, for example, there's some wise people, very enlightened bodhisattvas. They sit there and they do nothing. That's considered wisdom. They don't do anything. They said, it's nothing worth it. Okay? This is a special case where you need a special remedy for them. Anyway, it's not something that I want to elaborate too much, because your level is way too low below that, so there's no point in going. So I wanted you to walk away with the impression, with understanding that Mahayana is a lot deeper than you think. It's not something you can imagine or intellectualize. Okay. Anyway, so we go from different angles, from the angles of transcendental wisdom, Prajna wisdom, ultimate wisdom. Then you take emptiness as existence, meaning that just because you realize it's empty, okay, doesn't mean that you ignore the reality in front of your sensors, okay? Because if you deny or reject the existence of your sensors, then you still have an attachment. Is it clear? Okay. Therefore, in true wisdom, then even though it's empty, but you still take everything very seriously. You learn how to deal with your family. You learn how to perform better your job. You learn how to become a better person, because all those are equally, at the same time, all important, even though it's empty. That's the concept of Mahayana. Is it clear? We don't reject anything. The Hinayana, Theravada approach is that because they realize empty, they reject any actions. Okay? They reject creating karmas, if you will. They said, I'm too smart because it's empty anyway. Why should I create karmas? Why should I do anything? If I do anything, I have to suffer the consequences, bear the consequences of my actions. Hinayana, that's Hinayana. Mahayana people, they understand that, and they deliberately choose to create karmas in order to help others, to become just as happy as they are. Not help others in order that you become the boss, and become the king. Not for that reason. In order for them to become just like they are, meaning become a Buddha. The ultimate achievement in any living being, in any lifetime, is become a Buddha. It's nothing higher, nothing harder, it's nothing more lofty, nothing more worthwhile than that goal. That's what they try to do. And some of them are so generous to the sense that I want them to become a Buddha before I even do. That's my wish. Is it clear? So existence is taken very, very seriously. You are for real, even though you're confused. And they make it a point to help you escape from your confusion and become happy at their own expense. That's what is meant by take true emptiness as existence. So far so good? Or it's meant by saying empty and yet not empty. Okay? They're not attached to their wisdom, to their knowledge of emptiness. They're not attached, they're detaching. So far so good? The other approach we have is, I have 7 more minutes, is we teach Pure Land. Pure Land is for those of us, the majority of us, who cannot understand, will not be able to realize prajna, wisdom, this lifetime. This is very difficult to be able to let go of everything. Prajna says, I know I'm not attaching this flower, I'm not attached to your mother, I'm not attached to my flowers, I'm not attached to my money, I'm not attached to my house, I'm not attached to my temple, I'm not attached to anything. It's very difficult to do. Agree? Only one person. Okay. The rest of you have already attained that kind of detachment. I'm very pleased for you. And leave the Texan and myself. Okay? So that's, okay, for those of us who do not feel that you have the chance to be able to reach that level of wisdom, then what we advocate is that you go for the Pure Land approach. Pure Land is that next lifetime you get reborn to a different country, different world, where you become a Buddha in one lifetime. No more reincarnation wheel. Okay? No more. Okay? And let's go Pure Land. That's what the Mahayana advocates. If you cannot develop practice wisdom this lifetime, okay? You don't feel you are entitled, you are capable of, then invest in studying the Pure Land approach. Recite the Buddha's name, the approach of the temple that I'm putting in a stamp on is to practice Pure Land and Chan jointly. Okay? So you basically approach Mahayana. Our approach is to go through 2 special doors, specialized doors, the Pure Land Dharma door or the Chan Dharma door. Okay? And Chan Dhammador is to help you develop your prajna wisdom this lifetime. Sáng nay thầy giảng nói pháp thì nói về cái năm mới. Năm nay chùa chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu đổi số, đi lại hơn một tí, đi gắt cao hơn một tí, để tu cái pháp xuất thế qua hai cái pháp môn chính là thiền và tịnh độ. Thiền là để mở cái trí huệ xuất thế của vị, cái trí huệ bát nhã. The prajna wisdom, we are on slide 467. The prajna wisdom to help you understand emptiness, true emptiness. Cái bát nhã, trí huệ bát nhã là trí huệ cho cái vị thấy được cái chân không. Okay, now we have to be careful. Buddhism has the very precise terminology. First of all, you practice Buddhism that bring you to the understanding of emptiness. Thì mình cẩn thận một tí, giảng nghe vài cái chữ cho nó rõ ràng. Nhất là cái chữ không. Okay. Chữ không á, là khi quý vị tu Phật pháp để giúp quý vị chứng đắc được cái giáo lý của cái không. Emptiness here refers to the emptiness of the Hinayana accomplishes or takes as purpose. Cái không này là cái không của cái bên nguyên thủy mà họ gọi là cái mục tiêu của họ. Their objective is to realize and certify to this concept of emptiness, the emptiness of the self. Cái bên nguyên thủy khi mà họ giảng cái không, họ học tu dạy về cái không này giúp quý vị thấy được cái không của cái bản ngã. What does it mean? Emptiness of the self. Anyone? Thì cái không của cái bản ngã là cái gì? Please enlighten me. I mean, explain to me. Let's not use the word enlightenment arbitrarily, okay? Because that's what worldly people do. A lot of people say they're enlightened when they're not even beyond the form realm, and they claim they're enlightened. The form realm, you need to know, is very, very far from even emptiness itself, let alone being enlightened. Okay, so what is this emptiness here of the self? Thank you. Yes? Anyone? Yes, Vicky?
No attachment.
No attachment. Why is there no attachment? Không tức là vô chấp trước. Tại sao và không là vô chấp trước? Why is that? Yes?
Well, there's no one left to be attached.
There's no one who is attaching. Right? There's no one who attaches to fame. Không có ai mà chấp trước hết, không ai chấp trước vào cái danh vọng. No one who attaches to sleep. Không ai chấp trước vào cái ngủ. No one who attaches to what else? Food. Không ai chấp trước về đồ ăn. No one who is attaches to sex, you mean? No, sex. Không ai chấp trước vào cái tình dục. Okay. Sex. Let's be blunt. All desires go back to sex. You buy a car because you want to get the blonde bombshell. Sit. Why? I was talking about that. You know, people say, how come I see. Someone said, I see women driving those hot Corvettes. Okay? Có người nói với thầy, tại sao người ta lái xe có mấy cái cô rất là xinh đẹp lái chiếc xe cột vét. Ở xứ Mỹ cột vét là ngon lành lắm. But I never saw a blonde bombshell driving a Ferrari, red Ferrari. Như điều không ai thấy cái cô mà xinh đẹp mà lái chiếc xe Ferrari đỏ. Why is that?
Because they're foreign. Foreign.
Because they're foreign. Tại vì xe ngoại quốc. Spoken from a true red-blooded Texan. Cái này người da trắng nói. Yes? Why not? Please explain that to me. See, now everyone's awake. When we talk about red Ferraris, everyone wants to listen. Everyone wants to know.
You see it in Italy.
Huh?
You see it in Italy.
Oh.
What?
You see it in Italy.
You see it in Italy. No, women in Italy don't even drive red Ferraris.
No.
They don't. I never saw it in Italy. Yeah. Why is that? The streets are small in Italy. Đường nhỏ quá, lái nguy hiểm. So it's more dangerous. But she's saying women can handle the narrow roads, narrow streets. Okay. That's coming from a Korean friend. Okay. Yes? Why not? Yes.
Well, with a Ferrari, usually stick shift.
It's a stick shift. có người nói xe Ferrari là phải chịu số bằng tay. Yes.
Is it really? Or
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it
stick
would be.
shift.
okay,
Yeah, it's only stick shift. Yeah. Yes.
Well, because the Ferrari is a man's car.
It's a man's car.
Man's, a masculine.
It's a masculine car. Because those curves are for like.
Yeah, it doesn't look cute.
Doesn't look cute. Have you seen, just as a side point, have you seen that Acura thing, Acura, whatever the car?
Acura.
Yeah, that has, I know this model that has a lot of V's in the back, because that's the only place where I see them. It's rear end. Okay? The car has a lot of V in the back, whereas the Italian cars have a lot of curves. The V is a very strong shape, and it has all V's. The trunk is a V, and the roof is a V. Everything is V in the back. It's overwhelming. It's too masculine. That is more masculine than a Ferrari. And I see women driving that Acura, V-shaped. You know what I mean? Pay attention next time you see an Acura on the street. You look at from behind. It's a lot of V lines everywhere. It's overwhelming. I look at that and say, I would have fired this designer. And yet it's real popular in this country. Probably along the women. Lots of masculine shapes. Anyway, what else? Why not?
Oh, I know.
Yes.
If you're a woman and you drive Ferrari, you don't get the chance to get the cool guy.
You don't get a chance to get the male gigolos, you mean?
Guys get too intimidated.
Well, the men who drive the car, they get the blonde bombshell. And the women who drive the car, they get the male gigolos.
Oh. But women don't like
Fair,
them.
it's fair game.
That's right.
Yeah, it's fair game. That's good for the gooses. No, okay, these poor Texans can't handle this kind of straight talk.
Straight talk.
It's because two reasons. Number one, it's too expensive. It's like the house of a car. The car is about the price of a house in California. No? Los Angeles, houses around here are $500,000. Cheap houses, that is. So, and the other reason is that